are going to go through human skeletal system. We've been through this before, but I'm pretty sure this was your last class, okay? Last class or your second last class, I'm not so sure, but this was the last chapter we stopped at, okay? Before going through something new, I want you guys to revise or just recollect all your memories on this particular subtopic, okay? So follow my cursor, okay? Number one over here is your cranium. The cranium is a combination of two bones. Number one is your skull and number two is your jaw. The combination of these two bones is what we call cranium. Lepas tu, your shoulder bone dekat sini, kita panggil dia apa? Clavicle. Clavicle is your shoulder bone. And right behind your clavicle, take your left hand side punya tangan, put it on the opposite side, okay? Behind your back. And you will feel a bone over there. And that is known as scapula. Okay, number one is cranium, number two is clavicle, and number three is scapula. Next, number four, your arm. This is where your arm starts. Okay, this is humerus. Then come down to your forearm. Your forearm ada dua bone. Put your hand straight, guys. Okay, the outermost bone is known as ulna, and the bone inside, the supporting small bone, is known as radius. Okay, next. Number 7, the rotator cuff of your hand is known as carpal. And your palm is known as metacarpal. Your fingers are phalanges. Okay, so I'm going to go through your arm one again. Number 1, over here, your first arm bone is humerus. Then your forearm, the outermost bone is ulna, and the one inside is radius. Then your rotator cuff, your hand's rotator cuff is carpal. Your palm is metacarpal, and finally your fingers over here, they are known as phalanges. Now, number 10, the front central bone of your body. This is known as sternum. And number 12 over here is your backbone, which is known as vertebrae. Your sternum and your vertebrae are connected by a cage, okay? A cage structured bone. We call them rib cage, okay? Rib cage, there are 12 pairs. Ada 12 pasang rib cage. You have 12 pairs of rib cage, and all 12 pairs are attached to your vertebrae. But to your sternum, only 10 pairs are attached. 2 pairs are not attached to your sternum. Those two vertebrae, the last two vertebrae, are not attached to your sternum, and they are known as floating ribs. Kalau lu orang ada martial arts punya background, anyone with martial arts punya background, or just go Google self-defense. If it's a one-on-one match, then of course you can fight around that guy, do some tricks, stun. Kalau you guys are fighting against 5 person, what are you guys going to do? The best way is to run. Or if you guys sudah, if you guys are trapped or cornered, I'm so sorry. You guys have to bring down your enemies within one punch, one attack. Okay? So, how they actually do it is, one of the best way to protect yourself is to give a really tight punch on the lower stomach or by the side of the waist. Okay, that will either crack your last two floating ribs, or they will literally puncture your diaphragm. Okay, so let's go to your lower body now. The first bone over here, this is the bridge bone for your upper body and your lower body. Okay, the bridge bone for your upper body over here is known as pelvis. Then the one down here, from here all the way to the last one, is your leg. So number 14 is known as femur. Your knee, number 15, is known as patella. Then comes to your foreleg. Your foreleg also has two bones, like your arm, your forearms. The outermost bone over here is known as tibia, and the one inside supporting is fibula. Rotator cuff of your leg, tarsal. Your feet, metatarsal, and finally your toes, phalanges. Okay guys, I'm pretty sure you guys still remember this. I'm just recalling your memory. Functions, there are 5 major functions. I'm going to let you guys know the first 3. The last 2, make sure you guys know, revise yourself. Okay, the first function is to provide mechanical support. Okay, mechanical support is literally the stability and the movement of an organism, and skeletal system is what majorly provides mechanical support. Number 2, provides shape to an organism. Okay, without skeletal system, okay, just imagine ada satu orang depan saya jumpy, keluarkan dia punya skeletal system. How do you think he's going to look like? I've told you this, I can roll him like a carpet ready. Okay. Number 3, protects internal organ. Okay. Even though it's exoskeleton or endoskeleton, it still protects your internal organ. The last two, please recall back. Okay. I'm not going to spoon feed everything. Do something. The skeletal system over here is divided into two major sections. Okay, your bones are literally divided into two major sections. The first section is known as axial skeleton, and the second section is known as appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton consists of all the vital bones or important bones. Without these bones, you guys cannot stay alive. Okay, appendicular skeleton is just providing you mechanical support. Without these bones, you guys can still stay alive. That is the major difference. So, axial bone, guys. Number 1 is your cranium. Number 2 is your sternum. Number 3 is your vertebrae. And number 4 is your rib cage. Okay, without these 4 major bones, you guys, please don't even dream about staying alive. Boleh mati. Next. Appendicular skeleton is just providing you additional support. Number 1 is pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle consists of 2 bones. Number 1 is your clavicle. Number 2 is your scapula. Okay, guys, I'm not saying number 1 and 2 for appendicular. Number 1 punya appendicular is pectoral girdle, and pectoral girdle consists of 2 bones, which are clavicle and scapula. Number 2 is your entire arm. Okay, from your humerus all the way to your phalanges. Okay, you have seen people living without their arms, living without their legs. So the third one is pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle consists of your pelvis and also the last part of your vertebrae. Okay, and the fourth one is your legs, from your femur all the way to your phalanges. Okay, now vertebral column, guys. Vertebral column, let me tell you something. I've told you guys this before. I'm just repeating myself. A very big misconception in your life. Okay, sangat-sangat besar punya misconception. Orang sudah tipu lo orang. Okay, your spinal cord is not your backbone. Okay, spinal cord is not your backbone. Okay, your backbone is literally protecting your spinal cord. Spinal cord is located inside. Okay, you see the cursor. Can you see how the cursor is moving? That is where your spinal cord is protected. It's inside your backbone. It is not your backbone. Okay, so your backbone consists of 33 bones and 5 sections. Okay, I'm not going to name each and every section over here, but you guys should know the numbers. Number 1 is 7, 12, 5, 5, and 4. Okay, a total of 33. Make sure you guys know what each sections are. So this is C. Okay, you guys should know what is C. C, T, L, S, and C. Okay. How are your vertebral column connected? How are your vertebrae connected into one structure? Okay, guys, I'm just going to give you a small clue. I'm not going to tell you how are they connected, but the logic is very, very similar to your trachea. Your trachea is not one bone. They are connected through or via a C-shaped cartilage. Okay, the same concept is being applied to your backbone, but that particular cartilage has a name and they have 2 important functions. Make sure you guys recall and write it down in your notes. Kalau saya bawa satu orang, let's say lah, I have an enemy. What I do is saya pancung dia punya kepala. Lepas tu saya bawa dia punya body kepada dalam biology class. Ask you guys to take a look from the top. Okay? So, I know I'm pretty violent, but it's okay. Just bear with me. Okay? If you guys take a look from the top, this is how. Can you see the structure, the top view of your vertebrae? This is how your vertebrae will look from a top view. Okay? This particular thing, look at the cursor, this bone and this bone, they are your spinous process and transverse process respectively. Okay, the spinous process and your transverse process, their main function is muscle attachment. All the major muscles of your back are attached to your spinous and transverse process. Kalau ada sesiapa kurus punya kawan, ask him to bend down and you will literally see something popping out of his back. That is the spinous process. Transverse process you guys can't see because it's pointing sideways. Okay, next, Your neural canal over here. Neural canal, guys. Neural canal is where your spinal cord is placed and protected. That is the misconception. Okay, that is where you guys learn that your life has been a misconception all this while. Okay, neural canal is just a part of your backbone. Then dalam neural canal is where your spinal cord is protected. Spinal cord punya consistency, if I'm about to explain, just imagine a balloon without, just imagine a balloon with water. Can you imagine how fragile that balloon is? That is exactly the consistency of a spinal cord. It can break very easily. Okay, if you guys have heard of something called dislocation, okay, slip disc, these are all backbone punya problem. Okay, backbones can have this problem, bones punya problem. If this particular problem happens in your backbone, a slip disc or a dislocation, that is something very very serious. Kalau it happens in your arm, it's a very very small matter. Kalau backbone, it's a very very serious issue because it can break your spinal cord. Okay, if a spinal cord breaks, your spinal cord is literally controlling your entire nervous system. Okay, if all the spinal fluid flows out, you will be paralyzed forever. It cannot be replaced. Next, facets. Can you see these two black dots over here? These are known as facets. Facets literally articulate with other backbones, or articulate punya other meaning is connects with other backbones. As I said, this is a combination of 33 bones. They need to be connected to one another. How are they connected? They are connected through facets. And finally, your centrum. This black thing over here, can you see this thing? This is your centrum. Your centrum supports body weight. Guys, I want to mention something about centrum, or your backbone, I would say. Your body weighs differently. The weight differs in every section, and you have to know something, that your backbone is divided into 5 sections, and each section is holding one part of your body. Like for instance, the first part of your backbone is holding your head. The second part of your backbone is holding your mainly your internal organs lah. Okay, from your centrum, that's where I could say. The third part is your lower body, and the fourth and fifth part, it's not holding much. So the body weight differs. So depending on the body weight, the size of the centrum or the number of the centrums would differ as well. Okay, so take note of this. So I'm going to stop here and make sure you guys do your work.